dawn makes its way through the darkness, heralding the birth of a new day, and the takbirs rise. Takbirs that are heard from the east to the west, in houses that God has permitted to be raised, to proclaim the union of earth with the sky. It expresses the nation's civilization, and architectural traditions are mixed with civilized development, drawing a wonderful painting that takes you to a world of beauty and faith. Because it is so, the Abdul Latif Al-Fawzan Award for Mosque Architecture was an attempt to return mosques to their multiple major rules, which they began with, besides worship and salat. In its fourth round, the Al-Fawzan Award has developed new strategies for work based on three axes: going global, strengthening community partnerships locally, regionally, and internationally, focusing on digital work through the electronic portal and electronic scientific encyclopedias. It selected an arbitration committee composed of selected experts in the fields of architecture, arts, and sociology, namely Dr. Rasim Badran. He got a PhD in architecture from Darmstadt University of Technology in Germany, who views architecture as an ongoing dialogue between contemporary needs and inherited historical cultural values. Kashif Mahbub. He is a creative architect and has received a number of international awards, including the Abdul Latif Al-Fawzan Award for Mosque Architecture, the Aga Khan Award, and the Riba. Emre Aralat. He received a professorship at the International Academy of Architecture. He has been involved in numerous international architectural and urban master plan projects, having his work exhibited in a number of major international exhibitions. Ahmed Mustafa. Ahmed Mustafa is an artist and researcher in the field of Arabic art and design, and an expert in the European neoclassical tradition of plastic art. He dedicates his work to abstract installations inspired by texts from the Holy Quran. Sari Hanafi. He is a professor of sociology at the American University of Beirut and head of the Islamic Studies program at the American University. Holds many important positions in the field. The preparatory committee has set 3 conditions for participation in the 4th session, which are: the mosque must have been built after the year 2000. The mosque is in use and have not won any award yet. Accordingly, the arbitration committee selected the mosques on the shortlist as follows: Mayor Muhammad Hanif J. Mosque in Dhaka, Bangladesh. Unique design that is not different from the architectural spirit of the country. It is located in the heart of the densely populated capital. Its walls are built of local red bricks. It was influenced by a Mughal fort built in 1678 called Lal Bag Fort. The mosque consists of several buildings: the prayer hall, the women's prayer room, and the workers' residence. The idea of the bridge connecting the 2 buildings stands out in it, with slots in the walls and ceiling that allow ventilation and natural light. Australian Islamic Centre. Far away in the south of the globe is the Mosque of the Australian Islamic Centre. It consists of a multifunctional first floor that includes a cafe, a restaurant, a musalla, and a meeting room that connects with the local community. A mezzanine floor used as a musalla for women. The ceiling consists of a group of triangles that serve as light catchers, reflected in distinctive colors that recall the ancient style of Islamic decoration. Dugramai Ali Pasha Mosque, Ankara. The mosque is located on an area of 5,100 square meters. At first glance, the traditional design features of the Ottoman mosque, such as the dome and minaret, can be seen, but it has a unique modern feel, in the form of a steel structure clad with glass, which allows sunlight to illuminate the main prayer hall. Isra and Miraj Mosque, Al Khobar, Saudi Arabia. Inspired by the cube-shaped Kaaba, the Isra and Miraj Mosque appears in a unique style, as its glass facade is inscripted with the hadith of the Isra and Miraj, and its tall rectangular minaret. Mosque rests on the glass walls that connect the prayer hall with its outer edge. Penzberg Mosque in Munich, Germany. A mosque that combines modernity and originality. Among its four glass facades, the iron minaret stands out, with Arabic inscriptions that take up the art of Arabic calligraphy. As for the interior, the glass allows the light to penetrate while shielding the view, allowing the faithful to concentrate on prayer. The composition of the mihrab, which like the minaret, takes up the art of Arabic calligraphy, is striking for its simplicity. Abu Bakr Mosque in Lichinga, Mozambique. From the outside, the mosque does not look modern, not even if you look at it from the inside. The ancient style in which it was built, based on the technique of stacking bricks, arches, and wooden ceilings, as well as the traditional minaret, puts you in a world of simplicity, purity, and reverence. However, it blends perfectly with its surroundings. Bioclimatic Community Mosque, Indonesia. A unique experience, the Bioclimatic Mosque in Indonesia is a model of energy solutions, and it is a fragmented mass that includes several facilities. Its walls are built of 3,000 handmade hollow bricks. They allow a certain wind speed that cools the atmosphere beyond the heat and humidity of the climate. Al Jarrah Mosque, Medina, Saudi Arabia. The mosque looks very simple from the outside and inside, but it is also revolutionary in design. The wall of the mihrab is made of volcanic stones arranged in a slightly irregular shape to draw inspiration from the designer of the Mosque of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. The mosque is illuminated from the center and the Qibla wall, which has been moved 1 meter to allow the light to enter. Great Mosque of Algiers. The third largest mosque in the world was built in Muhammadiyya at a cost of $1,032 million and can accommodate 120,000 worshippers. The mosque is more than just a place of worship, as it has a library that can accommodate 2,000 visitors and a striking facade with a 264-meter minaret of modern design that ends in a glass cube. Haji Abdurrauf Mosque, Maligaon, India. The old-style mosque seems to incorporate the basic elements of the mosque, such as the minaret and the dome, into its design. The simple structure of exposed bricks gives it a spirituality that is enhanced by the reflections of indirect light that penetrates through the dome and the walls. Banyuwangi Prayer Room, Indonesia. This place may not seem like a mosque to you, and that is the attractive element in the design idea that came as a disjointed shape of the Holy Kaaba. However, the designer wanted the square roof of the building to be closer to a cone to raise the level of the spiritual connection between earth and heaven. Then the building tilts towards the Qibla. Allowing light and air to penetrate between the layers of wood and iron. Ljubljana Mosque, Slovenia. The first mosque in Slovenia was built 50 years ago. By just looking at it, you can expect a different future for the area in which it is located. Its semi-cubic shape and the filtering of light in the fabric dome inside, giving a very special, dazzling scene. It is not just a prayer hall, but an integrated complex with several buildings, distinguished by the idea of a movable wall that opens the prayer hall to the outside courtyard. Abijo Mosque, Lagos, Nigeria. This mosque is very much embedded in its environment. The material used to build it is laterite, a regularly cut sedimentary rock that is inexpensive and available in the city. Its simplicity is fascinating, as it is a vivid example of futuristic mosque architecture in Africa, combining antiquity and modernity. Gargash Mosque, Dubai, UAE. Its design is challenging because it must succeed in combining the spiritual dimensions of the place with the hustle and bustle of industry. Therefore, the designer felt that the Quranic verses should be engraved on the exterior walls, following the traditional shape of Emirati buildings, and that natural light should penetrate through the dome and the walls. Masjid Cyberjaya, Malaysia. The main idea of the Malaysian Cyber Mosque is to return the style of the mosque to its roots as a community center, modest in appearance and rich in content. Its facilities include a spacious compound that serves as a green buffer zone, a garden, a dialysis center, a multi-purpose room for classes and events, and an open courtyard for informal gatherings. Tubala Mosque, Serbia. At first glance, the Tubala Mosque seems to have the shape of a simple cube, far from civil life and residential buildings. From the inside, the musalla lets in light from both sides above, which gives it a special spiritual dimension. Qasr al-Husn Mosque, Abu Dhabi, UAE. The design of the mosque is linked to the identity of the desert area, as it is divided into separate blocks derived from the shape of the sand, with a vertical part that gives the impression of a minaret, and a prayer hall that derives from the exterior its interior design to look like a coherent art painting. Pakistan Navy Mosque, Karachi, Pakistan. The design focuses on preventing harsh sunlight from directly reaching the prayer hall, in addition to escaping moisture through natural ventilation. At Tasamah Mosque. The mosque is considered a departure from the norm in Tunisia, bypassing the traditional external forms and richly decorated spaces. The rooms and elements of light symbolic value, such as the mimbar, the mihrab, the minaret, and the prayer room, were sober and quiet. Amman Economic Zone Mosque. The noise generated by the surrounding industries was a major challenge for the surrounding industries, as Salat needs a quiet environment. So, the design was solid and concrete. Despite its simplicity, it gives the impression of an invisible dome, symbolizing the mosque's architecture. With its cross shape above the prayer hall, it is completely closed, except for the single window-like opening in the center of the roof, through which the sun enters. DIFC Grand Mosque, Dubai. A cube within a cube is the idea on which the DIFC Grand Mosque is based. The outer form of the cube consists of suspended screen that acts like a veil to provide shade and privacy to certain areas, opening to the public in its original form. Around the mosque, a reflecting pool along the facade forms a park for visitors. As-Salihin Mosque, Bandar Seri Begawan, Brunei. A modern historical building where you will experience spiritual moments that will take you back centuries. In a modern spirit and creativity in its implementation, it combines spiritual construction and urban beauty that is not overcrowded with details and decorations. The areas range from the columns to 3 vaults, up and down to reach the main access, where the mihrab and the central dome.